Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if we can get Sam in. There we are. And it's here.
I'm here. That works.
This is all new, isn't it?
It's all very new.
Quite like this new StreamYard technology for allowing us to go live in the group.
Yeah, it's I've never heard of it before, so it all seems good.
Yeah, I only found out about it the other day, so that was a good learning curve for me, but it's quite simple to use, and I really appreciate you giving some time to me and to our group today to come and join me for a quick chat. Shows your badge. Shows your badge.
Yeah, I got my badge on. Got it. Oh, I like your little jacket, your puffer jacket. This is quite new as well.
So, Sam Armstrong, how are you?
I'm really good. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, as good as can be, considering all the lockdown.
Oh, yeah. Considering the challenges that we're facing, but I suppose it's lockdown too, so we've had a bit of experience in lockdown 1, haven't we?
Yeah, lockdown 2. It doesn't seem quite as difficult to set up as before, because we are used to it, and we have processes in place this time to adapt. I think that's my new word: adapt to change.
I think that's a really important thing in life, to have the skill and the ability to adapt to change. And if you're able to do that, that allows you to have a level of resilience to deal with anything. But I think we've all been forced into that this year. So it's definitely something that we're needing to develop and refine. And so I'm grateful for you being here. I have a few questions, but I don't want to kind of make it rote and kind of restrictive. So I suppose, first of all, just tell me a little bit briefly about yourself. I know that I don't know how long we've known each other.
6, 7 years, maybe. I mean,
yeah,
because I think I can see the screen better. I've been trying not to do it without them. Yeah, maybe. When was our first meeting? I don't know. It's got to be 7 years. How long have you been doing Walx, Preston?
Yeah, it's good. Almost 6 years since I started. Yeah. You've been doing this for well over 10 years, so you are the master here.
Yes, so 2008 I started, which does seem quite some time ago now. There's been an awful lot of changes as well within the business since then, and I just started doing it on one day a week really at the time, and it's just grown to what it is now, which is really, really big. And I originally, when I first started, it was quite organic business for me, because my girls were still quite young, and I discovered the Nordic walking, and I just was absolutely blown away with it. And I thought, I just really want to do this, but I can't do too much too soon. So that's why I started quite slowly. But at the time, nobody else had heard of it, and I got all the jokes, the silly jokes, or what people thought were silly jokes, but they were just rather irritating. Like, it was normally snow related.
I'm just going to say now, I can hear some jingling and groaning, but it's not your tummy. I think it's the dog, isn't it?
No, 1 minute. It is the dog that wants to leave the room. Go on, there you go. So, because I felt I did at the time, I believed in it so much, even though I didn't really know much about it. I just knew I had to do it. If anything was a calling, then this was a calling for me. Mm-hmm. and one thing led to another, and it just blossomed.
Yeah, that was very much a similar thing for me, and I think why I asked how long have we known each other, it's not that I've forgotten. It's, I think, what's really key to the whole what was Nordic Walking UK, our sort of system, and now Walx and our groups, is that even for me and the people within our group, they come into that space and they then nurture relationships. And we got to meet through the medium of obviously Nordic Walking Preston and your Nordic Walking group. But we made friends, and obviously on a level of an instructor, but still we met, even though we're from different parts of the country, and we have a similar outlook on life and interest in walking and interest in the outdoors, and just to enjoy ourselves and be there for people, and for maybe for the two of us a bit more of a kind of calling aspect to help other people and get people involved in this whole community and social side of things.
I think that's one of the beauties of it. We, as instructors, we do meet some really fabulous people, not just our members, but other instructors as well. And you gain a lot from that, and their knowledge and experience and friendship. So also, since I've been doing it, I've met an awful lot of people, so many, I can't even begin to tell you, but on the instructor side of it, we've made some really wonderful relationships with them, because we share a passion, and we obviously love talking about that, and sometimes don't stop talking about it's like, yay, always talking about walking.
Yeah, you know, that's the odd thing, I suppose, is we run a walking group, we get people walking, but still there's so many people who can't quite get their head around that. You know, what is it that you do? You do walking, and you take people walking, people pay you to take them walking, it's just walking. It doesn't make a lot of sense to people. But the fact of the matter is, it's not just walking, it's actually, that's one element, one spoke in a much larger wheel, and there's a lot more involved in that. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I consider my members as my second family, really. And it's when you say it's not just walking, it's that whole support structure as well. And it's that friendship that members have with each other and with ourselves as instructors and walk leaders. And it's that community, and it's very much that feel once you embrace it and come into the fold, as it were, to embrace that. And once you're with us, I like to think that you stay with us, because it's a lifestyle. It's not something that you think, oh, right, well, I've got to do this today. You do it because you love it. And when you love it, it becomes, well, it's just natural, it's enjoyable, and you look forward to it. And you don't notice the time passing so quickly when you're out on the walks.
Yeah, I think we both got stories of all of our different members who at different stages over the years have said to us, oh, we're at the end already.
Yeah.
Because time does go so quickly. You know, you are outdoors enjoying yourself. And I think a point that we were mentioning just then is, you know, it's something that a lifestyle change, and it's something that you enjoy doing. And I think this is this thing right now with the lockdown too, particularly. You know, we're always trying to find people and support people who want that lifestyle change, need that lifestyle change, want some support, physical, mental and social, but not to feel that they have to do something. And I think a lot of people in our group in particular, I think it was the same in your group, they've come to realize how much they enjoy this, and it therefore becomes not a chore to do an activity. And the thing with the lockdown is the gyms have closed again, and there are so many people in that who, you know, I'm all for gyms. You know, gyms are great. There's equipment there. There's people to support you in those gyms, but they have closed and they're not open. And people might think, you know, well, I'm stuck, I can't do anything. But there's so much more that you can do, and you don't need necessarily a gym to do it. You have your 2 feet, and you can go walking, and you can adapt that walking to be physical, mental, social, and get all those different benefits out of it. And I think that's really, you know, great thing, and it needs talking about more and kind of talking to
absolutely. I mean, we offer, like you, a wide range of walks, from the wellness walks to the really active walks. We have walks with lots of exercises in them as well. So but obviously we do our explorer walks where we it's more about the location and the social side of it, but we offer a huge variety. or June, Holden, one of our instructors, she offers Tai Chi movements for well-being. And whilst we experienced the first lockdown, June transferred her skills onto Zoom. So that was absolutely brilliant. And she's had a really good following. I've obviously been doing, not obviously, because a lot of people won't know, but I have been doing a lot of Zoom sessions, because before I did the walking, I was fitness instructor. So I was able to transfer those skills across to Zoom, adding different types of Zoom, again, just like the walking. So they've also been very popular. They were popular in lockdown 1, and I continued those because everyone enjoyed them, and I'm obviously increasing those again for lockdown 2. Just keeping people active and smiling, keeping them happy, and making them a little bit sore occasionally, giving them a little bit of muscle soreness, get the heart rates racing. Yeah.
Super. No, that's great. You know, on our walks, I'll always try and encourage them to we'll more so change the terrain than specifically give them things to do. But there's always a reason behind that. And what I really love about our group is that over the years that they've got used to knowing me and the way that we lead the walks, you know, we'll even get to a point where the faster walkers are ahead and they stop because they don't know whether they need to go left or right. And then I turn up and they're all there pretending that they've done 50 squats standing still for me. And they all like going up the hills, and they even go on holiday. And when they go on a holiday, they send pictures that they've gone up this hill or these steps. And it's really nice to see them.
Mike, you said they like hills. That's a good one.
Yeah. They now like hills. Yeah. They might not overly say that out loud, but even someone do post that. And even 2 people today, or rather this week, we set up a buddy walk, so that the system that they can meet together, people that they know in the community. And 2 of them met up in our location on Monday morning, where we usually have the hills and drill session, and did it themselves. So it just is amazing to see that they are doing it themselves, because they've found that that's an opportunity and that they're gaining from it. You know, lots of people get to the top of the hill when they first meet us a year ago, 2 years, 3 years ago, whatever it might be, and, you know, oh, I hate hills, I don't like this, and they get to the top and can't move. And they get up now and they're like, you know,
that happens. It happens, and it's that gentle encouragement. It's that repetition, because they're doing it week in, week out. And I used the word organic earlier, but I like to use the word quite a lot because they don't realize how fit they're getting. 6 months down the line, when they've been walking regularly, they suddenly notice that the hill that they did when they started is suddenly much easier, and they're not so out of breath. So that's, and it happens without being a forced situation where it's like, oh, I've got to go and exercise today. It's like, yay, I'm going out walking.
Totally.
Anyway, it's like, yeah, I'm going out with someone.
No, but they do enjoy coming out to meet each other. Obviously, we're a bit restricted now with the one-to-ones and this, that, and the other. But, you know, so many of them love to come together with a group and know that they've got someone to meet. They don't know who, and within that walk space, with the hour sort of time frame, they're going to maybe switch 2 or 3 people within that group, and they get to catch up or kind of have a chit chat with someone. It's a funny thing this week, someone posted in the group, one of the walkers, she'd gone out with her daughter in one of the parks where the hills, and this lady Leslie, she goes on the hills and drill session with us, and her daughter, I think, had realised how fit her mum was. And, you know, I recognise this in not just Leslie, but all the walkers, how fit they're getting. Even today, Ted, I was walking the one-to-one with Ted. He's 83, and, you know, he stopped once this time, but at the beginning of January when he started, he'd stopped 3 or 4 times, and probably for 2 or 3 minutes at a time. And today he was like, no, I'm not stopping at that bench. Got to the next bench, no, I'm not stopping at that bench. And when we stopped at a bench later on, he stopped for a minute, then got up and carried on. And it's fantastic to see that progression is there, and that provides a level of confidence and realization of, you know, increased fitness and health and well-being. Yeah, I love it.
Well, I obviously do, because I've been doing it for the 13th year. But I'll tell you something, before I did this, because I have a very short attention span, with a lot of things I do, but this is one thing that is certainly contradicts that, because I love it so much. I'm motivated to well, hopefully inspire, but just keep on doing what I'm doing. Whereas in my previous jobs, the boredom factor sets in a little bit, and it's like, I'm not sure I really want to be doing this anymore. So after a couple of years, it's like I'm looking for something else. But there's never thought that with this, because it's the members, and hopefully I can't see how many are watching this, but it's you guys, the members.
It's been on live now, and a lot of comments
that are
see who's written anything. It's just says
motivating. So yes, we as instructors are the motivators, but actually you're motivating us. The members are motivating us to keep you guys all fit in tip-top shape.
So just for the benefit of not just our, I mean, there's quite a lot of people in this group, obviously a lot of our members, but there are even Anne from your group. I think she's commenting on the post here. There are other instructors and other walkers from other groups. Just tell me about your Walx group and where it is in the country.
So we're based in Derbyshire. We're based in Derbyshire. You can just see it says Derwent. I don't know if you can see it says Derwent and Dales.
Yeah, Derwent there, yeah.
When I first started the business, it was called Core Concept, because it was based around the fitness side of things, and I was amalgamating other parts of what I was doing at the time. So last year we rebranded to Walx Derwent and Dales, called Derwent because of the River Derwent and Dales because of the Derbyshire Dales. So that covers a huge area, and we certainly do. We've got lots of regular members. I've got some members that have been coming since 2008, which is wonderful. You know, when somebody stays with you that long. Yeah, all that time. It's brilliant. We've got June Holden as an instructor. We've got 6-7 other walk leaders at the moment, all absolutely brilliant, or really good at specialising in what they do, from well-being up to speed hiking. So we've got something for everyone, I like to think anyway. Yeah, and I, like you, just put it all together and keep on delivering it each week. So what else? We've got, it's a beautiful area where we live. It's the Peak District, and 3 years ago started running the Rustick Festival.
Yeah, that.
We couldn't run it this year for obvious reasons, so postponed that until next May. So that was a mini version of the Purbeck Nordic Walking and Walks Festival, just a mini version of that. But the first year, all of HQ came up, and it was a really special time. Those 3 days were amazing, but we decided it was too much to bring them all up to us. So I said, I'll just put all the walks on, and we'll go ahead with it, which is what we did. So that was great, and sad to have missed it this year, but we'll be fine next year. What else do I do? Trips to Europe, weekend trips.
You do quite a few trips to Europe, don't you?
Yeah, it's something I wanted to do right from the beginning, but I thought, well, I don't know how to do this. And then, you know how if you want something enough, but not quite sure how to do it, and if you put out those positive vibes, it sort of comes to you, and it's like, oh, this is how I'm going to do it. So I met a wonderful international mountain guide called Julia, because I went on a navigation course, and I wasn't the only one on it, and Julia was leading it, and I was chatting to her about it because I discovered she had not long set up a sort of an outdoor holiday company in Switzerland, France, and they walked and snowshoed and did all sorts of amazing activities. So it's like, well, I can help you. So yes, so brilliant. So on the back of that, I'll try and remember the places that we've been to, which I've got so many amazing memories. it's incredible, really. So where have we been? France, Switzerland, Italy, Croatia, Slovenia, Mallorca.
Wow, I didn't realise you'd been to so many places.
Yeah. And we've been to France about 3 times, Switzerland a couple, Italy, is it once, twice now. Yeah, we went back for another trip to Italy. Mallorca was amazing. They were all amazing, and for all different reasons. I think that's probably it. We were supposed to go to the Dolomites this June, but we've moved that forward to next year. So there's still spaces on there if anybody's listening and want to come.
So it feels like you go away a couple of times a year, in actual fact, with that many holidays or that many destinations.
What, me?
Yeah, you must be going away a couple of times a year to manage the 10 years.
Yes. Yeah. We did manage to we went to Italy this year to do a snowshoeing and Nordic skiing trip as well. So we managed to get that in just before COVID hit the world. So that was great. That was the first time I've run that trip, and that was again with Julia Tredeskis Allen, who runs Tracks and Trails. Just thought I'd drop that one in.
You're a plug. That's great.
Yeah, great company with her partner Lindsay. So very fortunate to have met her, because I wouldn't have been able to do these trips without having her support. So once we're in these countries, then Julia or Lindsay take over and guide all the walks. The UK trips, again, that was something. I think we live in such we've been abroad, but we live in the most amazing country for scenery, and I wanted to share that with people. So a great way for me to get to know areas better is actually go and take people there. So I spend 2, 3, 4 days sometimes researching the area when I'm in it and finding great walks for them. So again, we've pretty much been all over the UK. Need to do more in Scotland though. I need to get more up in there. But I normally work on about a 3-hour journey from home, because when it's only for a long weekend, the travel time's important not to go too far.
Yeah, we've done it a little bit differently. We kind of have had monthly adventure walks where we might go several hours away, and a number of those are on a coach. So we were planning on coming down to see you at some point.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That would be something to potentially look forward to in the future. And again, part of this walks system, the national community, we all have our online booking system. So our regular walkers to Preston, Walx Preston, know how to book onto the walks here, but because that system is the same that you use, that means that if they were down in Derbyshire, they could book on and walk with you, couldn't they?
Yep, certainly could. Yeah, or online.
Yes. Tell me which sessions you have online, and how can I get some of my guys to jump on a couple of you got like a Tai Chi and what else?
We've got TMW, Tai Chi movements for well-being. June does that one. I just started a new one, Resistance is Futile. So that's with using some form of weight. So you don't have to have dumbbells in your house. You can use empty cartons and fill them up with water. You could use rice bags, tins of paint if you want, or bags of potato. So anything that's resistance based. I don't know if any of your guys have heard of the smoothies, but I do 2 of those, 2 smoothie sessions a week. They're very popular. I do a couple of early bird ones.
So what I'd like you to do is if you could let me know when those are, maybe not on the call now, but if we know the links, I can put them in this week's email and put them out for next week and try and get some of my guys on a couple of those sessions. I think that'd be really great.
And to book on, it's exactly the same way as they wanted to book on to one of your sessions. If you've got the links, just follow that. I think that's probably the easiest way sometimes, if you just got the link. And on a weekly basis, we do a diary and have that PDF diary, which is amazing. And,
great function.
Thanks, Nordic Walking UK, for that one.
Hats off to Nordic Walking UK and Walx at the headquarters. Everything they've been doing the last, since forever, but recently these last couple of years, the rebranding and the system and all of that functionality. Because again, you were paper-based and you had trepidation about moving into the online system. And
oh my goodness. So that was, for me, I used to turn up at a class, and can you imagine now, because I can't even imagine I did it, turn up at a class, I had no idea who was coming. So it could be 5, it could be 15, I just didn't know.
That was in the old days on the paper.
The old days, this is pre the booking system, the old days. So I had a register, I'd type out a register and have that with me. So if they came, they got a little tick, and then they put the money in a box. That was it. So you can imagine how long that would take now to do before you even start walking. And if people don't have the right money, you've got to give them change. So when the new booking system came in, which is what you're also used to, I was like, oh, I'm not sure if they're going to like it. I don't know. It's a big change for me, but yeah, it was the best thing.
Change.
And now it's just, yeah, you can really keep track of well, everybody who's attending, and keeps everybody's data secure and safe.
Yeah, the health questionnaire, the data, they can book on and off, and, you know, everything like that's just so transparent and easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Super. So let me just think. We've been on 25 minutes. I don't want to keep you much longer, but do you know any funny stories from any of your walks or walkers?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and it's like trying to remember all the different funny. I mean, we seem to laugh all the time. I don't know if your groups do, but it's just, there's so many funny things that can happen. But then I was thinking, well, do you know what? A lot of them are related to the weather, like loads of mud or lots of rain, or people sometimes not in the right gear, or embarrassing moments. This is not to do with the weather, but and I don't really know where it came from, but I started dressing up, themed dressing up events, and getting over the fact that actually I don't really care what I look like anymore, and as long as it creates a laugh. So I've dressed up, and the team have dressed up, and they've been great sports so many times. And the looks, you know, and you forget that you've got all your gear on, and then you go into town. Well, you don't forget, but you go into town and you wonder why people are looking at you. It's like, oh yeah, I've still got my Halloween outfit on. It's like, or dressed as a Santa, or walk leaders turning up in wigs, and you don't recognize them because of these wigs on. But one time that really does stand out was on one of our trips when we went to the Basque country in Spain. And if I tell you it rained, it properly rained, and it never ever stopped for the whole 4 days. It didn't even stop overnight. So that one of the ladies, bless her, I love her to bits, but she didn't think that she needed her waterproofs, even though it was on the list. So I said to her on the day of, because we did attempt to, well, we did walk most days, but I said, have you got your waterproof trousers? Oh no, I didn't think I needed them. We're in northern Spain, you'll need them. So we made, nobody had any spares at that time, so we got a bin liner, and basically we made a skirt out of a bin liner. And I remember like pulling the bottom of it so it was a bit flared, and then we fastened it as, you know, to her waist, and she was walking around in this bin liner. And on the same, first of all, we walked around a town, and none of us had umbrellas, so we went to buy these cheap umbrellas, and every time we put them up, the wind literally blew them the other way because the rain was so horrendous. But we did laugh about that bin liner and those days, and the mud on the coastline when we were trying to walk. It was just so slippy, but yeah, it just rained and rained and rained. And you know, at the time, think, oh yeah, but when you look back, and they're actually really good memories.
Yeah, no, I think we're the same. You know, I think the most outstanding memory of rain is when we went up on an adventure walk to Cathedral Caves. And if I just mention Cathedral Caves, all the people who are on that walk go, oh, not that day. But it now becomes that familiar, happy memory of it being a time together, struggling in that rain, but still,
Yeah.
it's, you know, there was.
I often think we have some wonderful memories, but when it's in rain, it seems to stand out even more. You'll never forget. Oh yeah, remember when it rained that so heavily, or yeah. It's, mud, you know, people slipping in mud, people putting their foot and it ends up going up to their knee, and then they sort of suck their, you know, the leg comes out and stays in the mud, and it just makes everybody laugh, because you have to laugh, don't you?
Definitely brilliant.
Yeah.
So, Sam, thank you very much for sharing 30 minutes with me live in our group.
You're very welcome.
I don't want to force this cutting it off. I really enjoy spending time with you. Always when we meet, we've met many times at the different festivals and otherwise. And it's nice just to give you a high five and a virtual.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
And you know, I really look forward to seeing you, meeting you again. I know we're restricted now with lockdown, but I'd really like the opportunity in the future to bring some guys down to you, whether it's at the Rustick Festival or otherwise as a group. And your guys are always welcome up here in Preston to come and meet some of our crazy gang. And I think, you know, very similarly, our group and like your group, I recognise from things that you say, there are people who are not really bothered about getting dressed up or being seen differently by someone else, or walking with poles, or walking in the mud or the rain. And there is always laughter on the walks, and there is always an enjoyment. There's always a memory being created. And, you know, we have a strapline: fitness, friendship and fun. And I think all those things are always part and parcel of it. The
memories that I've personally got are amazing. They're wonderful. And I like to say that friendship factor, and I've made a lot of friends. I know I said that at the beginning, but I have, and it's because we're so driven and passionate about the same thing. So it's that connection, and not just instructors but all our members too. So yeah, all good.
Great. So Sam Armstrong from Walx Derwent, thank you very much for joining me.
Bye everyone.
I really appreciate it. We've still got 10 people live on the feed, even 30 minutes in. Which is fantastic.
That's brilliant. So I'm not bored anymore after 30 minutes. I'm not too bored.
I think maybe 10 left, and then 10 you came in. But so all I'd like to ask is that I can get some of the links off you to the virtual walks for your group for next week, and I can share that with the group, and hopefully we'll get some people on them, and they will maybe recognise your face if they get on a session with yourself, and feel a little bit more confident to go on that session because they've met you here today. And
I think so.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Bye everybody. Bye.
Enjoy your afternoon. Take care. Thank you for joining me.
Bye.
Bye.